Welcome to my next web diary series. Today we're going to be looking at user ID manipulation. So when I say ID manipulation, I'm talking about trying to change a particular ID. It could be in whatever form. It could be in numbers. It could be in mixed characters. Like letters and numbers. Whatever form. Now, when it comes to user ID manipulation, it always requires you to take the ID of another user, try to see if you can actually, make decisions on behalf of that user using their ID, which in this particular sense, ID stands for identification, right? So ID is like what's being used to identify that user at that moment. So let's take for example, I'm gonna open up Housepad, right? Let's take for example, um, we have Ola, right? Ola has an ID of 1, and we've got Fortress, right? Fortress has an ID of 2. So when we log in as Ola, right here, the system or the web application assigns Ola the ID of 1, right? So if Ola is trying to make some actions, right? Let's say Ola is trying to make some actions and all of that, and for instance, he wants to change his password, right? Let's say, for instance, Ola wants to change his password to password 123, right? And ID is being attached. We can do something like user ID, right? In the request, it's been attached 1, and password is been attached password 123. Now, what Ola can do is Ola can change this to 2, and he can, instead of resetting his own password, he can reset the password for Fortress instead, and boom, it would just use, because it's now the identity. He has proved that, yeah, I'm Fortress. So he can actually just go ahead and provide this password with this user ID, and boom, he's logged in, or the username rather. So without further ado, let's talk more action. I would just start up the web app, right? We can just do npm start, and just the way I attach the web application, like the code and everything in my last video, I'm going to do this for this video also, right? So yeah, I'm going to do this for this video. So yeah, let's dive into it. So I'm just going to go to local, so they have hosted that web application. So you're just do is npm start, and then just browse to this particular endpoint. So for instance, if I want to log in as Charlie, I could do Charlie, and Charlie password is Charlie123. Basically just adding 123 to each and every one of their usernames works. You can see welcome Charlie here. So I'm Charlie. I've proved I am Charlie, right? So I can actually intercept this and just show you how it works on Bob. You can see Charlie123. You can see the username. Let's say login successful. User ID 3. See username Charlie. Charlie at example at company.com rule user. So I mean, yeah, looking at the result or the response from this, you can actually see a log box. For instance, I can actually send this over to the repeater, right? I could use a post request. I could actually attach role here and change the role to admin. Let me see if an admin role exists here. Yeah, an admin role exists. So I could go over to repeater, put a comma here, paste this here, and set. Let's see what happens. Okay, role is still user. I think there's a check there, right? I don't know, maybe it's using your token to make sure that you are who you say you are. So I think creating an account, if there is no proper check, you could actually change your role to admin and perform administrative actions on the web application. So let's go into what we are here for today, right? User ID manipulation. So let's take for example, I actually copy Charlie email, right? I'm trying to, let's say I want to request a password reset for Charlie. That means I don't know Charlie's password, right? I'm logged in as Charlie, and I want to reset my own password, right? So you can see password reset link sent to Charlie at example at company.com, and vulnerability is token exposed in response. So if you check here, right, or if we let's just use the traditional method. If you go over to API request password reset, you'll see a reset token has been sent in the response. Now, you'll be so shocked how most startups are built like this. Like, you would actually see reset tokens sent in response, and like it also lands in your email. So the user is going to get in their email and is also going to get it in their response. That's like bad coding practice, because if someone is able to steal this via XSS or wherever vulnerability exists in the application, it's going to cause a huge problem, because they can actually perform something like a man in the middle attack, try to sniff this reset token and just use it to reset the user's password. So let's do this right. So for instance, now let's say I want to generate a new password for Charlie, right? I'm just going to do password, right? And I'm going to create reset password. But before I do that, I'll just come over to intercept and intercept this. I'm just going to hit reset password, and if I come here, you can see the token, right? 5B, 9B rather. So I'm just going to copy this token just to be sure that it actually validates that token, because sometimes web application don't validate that token. So I'm just going to change it to 7 instead, and I'm going to forward this. Now let's see what happens here. Invalid or expired token. You see, invalid or expired token. Now I'm going to reset this. Okay, let me just turn this off. I'm going to refresh this, and you can see it's still telling me I have an active reset token. Now that's for me. I feel like once the token has been altered, right? Once the token has been used the first time, meaning once it generates that token, it should expire immediately. It is being used. Immediately a section is being created, so that token should expire automatically. That's another bad coding practice, right? So let's just do this. We can actually just go back to this HTTP history. We should just do something like post API reset password. Yeah, I'm just going to forward this to repeater, send to repeater. I'm going to attach the token. I think, yeah, and user ID 3, right? So now this is where we have the user ID manipulation vulnerability. For instance, we know that somehow the ID for Alice is 1, the ID for Bob is 2, and the ID for Charlie is 3, and Alice is an admin. So it is what we'll all definitely go for the the highest bidder, literally. So I'm actually gonna go for Alice because I need the admin rights. I need the administrative right, of course. I want to be admin. So here's what I'll do. I'll just change user ID to 1, and I'm just gonna send this. Now it's password reset successfully. You see, now that token wasn't the token was meant to expire like immediately. That's like the whole section started. The token was meant to expire immediately. I created a section. That's the first problem. The second problem is the user ID is not tied to the token. The user ID is not tied to the token. That's a very, very big vulnerability, because I could actually change user ID to whatever, and boom, you can see username Alice. Meanwhile, I'm changing the password. I was trying to change the password of the password of Charlie, right? So now I could actually go over here and log in as Alice. I could do Alice, right? Alice, and I could put here password. Login. Okay, I have a space here. Login. Yeah, login. You can see admin, and I have like administrative rights, to do whatever I want now. So that's quite the situation here, right? It's always like this. You can see Alice, admin 1. It's always like this on some web application. You'll be so shocked how many applications are built like this out there. Like, you'll be so shocked how many applications are built like this. Yeah, it's a little bit complex, right? In the sense that some user ID are mixed characters, and you have to find a way to get user ID like recon, trying to like see if you can visit your profile, use that to like change parameters. Maybe it's maybe something like a slash public. You have slash public slash 123, stuff. You could, and you have another endpoint which is slash 123. You could just add public, and then you'll be able to view the ID of another user. So it's quite like this, right? This is just a really really short one. I mean, I'm gonna be releasing more videos like frequently, right? Like on a routine, like fast, 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 fast. So yeah, I guess developers, or not just developers, security researchers out there, get to learn from this, right? There have been several paid, iBugs as P1 on Akawan. Yes, we are different bug bounty platforms that have been paid just by doing this. So it's what putting this into consideration. Always make sure that you actually attach the user ID, right, to the token, and always make sure you use the user ID should be random characters, at least 16-bit long, so it's actually like really not guessable at all. This is literally very very guessable. And also for the new password, I think you could actually just use a JWT, use JWT token, section token rather, which works. So yeah, I think that works, right. There's still a lot of series, like I said, attached to this one. I think I still have like 4 more series attached to this particular web application that we just act. So I'm gonna drop the code right below this video for you to check out. But yeah, thanks for watching again, and see you in my next video. Cheers.